So, Andrew, thank you very much for taking the time to join this call. So, yeah, I mean, if you could please, introduce yourself, right, your role and your day-to-day responsibilities, we can get started there.
Yeah, my name is Andrew Pollard. I'm the Director of Warehousing at Better Body Foods.
Okay.
We have two facilities in Utah. One is in Linden, Utah. That's our production facility.
Okay.
And then we have our shipping warehouse in Springville. It's about 20 miles south. So we have our own drivers moving our product back and forth.
Hmm.
I'm the director of the warehousing, so I'm over
Got
the
it.
warehousing, inventory, and distribution for both of our facilities.
Got it. Got it.
Uh, Better Body Foods, kind of our signature product, is PB Fit. A lot of people know
I
that.
see
It's
that. I
our
see that in
formula.
Costco. I always look at, oh, this is our
Oh
customer.
yeah,
I tell my
we're at
wife,
Walmart, Costco.
yeah, yeah,
It's great in protein shakes, working out, or just a little bit healthier lifestyle to get some protein,
yep,
as well as that good peanut butter flavor.
yep,
So
yep,
a lot of people know that
yep,
PB Fit. Oh yeah, I know that. I buy it at Costco every week.
yep, 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 yep. So what was the problem you guys had, right? I mean, no, what was the problem you guys had, and and you wanted to solve it, right? Um, you know, um,
Yeah, so I've been at Better Body Foods for 3 years.
okay,
We picked up LoadProof just before that time. We had a couple of main issues with one was claims, damages that happened during transit before it arrived at our customer.
yep,
And we would have a lot of problems refuting that sometimes, right? That
yep,
it arrives like this, and proving that we didn't ship it like that was hard. Another issue too was packing slips and paperwork. So sometimes people would say, "We didn't get this material and this documentation." So there was kind of two main things that we were trying to solve was can we have proof that the shipment left good
yep,
without damages,
yep,
but also then that the paperwork was attached to the shipment correctly,
yeah.
um, or a seal or something like that, something that's in the documentation process.
Great, great. And how did you guys find load proof to solve that problem?
I don't know.
Okay, okay,
I
okay.
don't know entirely because we had just picked it up before I came on here at Better Body Foods.
Got it. I think I
Um,
talked to Charles. Charles, I forgot the last name. That was the name of the gentleman that we talked to. I mean, he was some kind of a VP at that time.
so
Um,
there was a guy, Chris was the VP of warehousing when I started,
okay,
and then I took over his position.
got it.
I took over the Linden warehouse responsibilities,
Okay,
and then eventually we combined the warehouse responsibilities. So Chris left, and I took the warehousing for both. And they had picked up load proof previously, um, and I don't know exactly how they found it. Like if they
got
were
it.
doing some
No worries.
research online, but I know the problem we were trying to solve, right? We were
Yeah,
trying to refute some claims specifically with damages and
yeah.
then our packing slips and documentation.
Great, great. So it's. I mean, is it fair to ask? How was it before load proof? How was life? Before load proof? Would you?
Yeah, I do kind of know that, right?
Okay.
Because I hear some of the horror stories of
Yeah, yeah,
we had these pallets of damages and $10,000, $20,000 of product sometimes
yeah,
that uh, product damaged or punctured
yeah.
during shipping, not strapped down, tipped over. Um, and it could be expensive when you're talking about 4 or 8 pallets
Yeah,
of finished good material.
yeah,
Those are kind of the big horror stories. And then also, we ship food,
yeah,
right? And
yeah.
so having our product safe and secure following SQF guidelines. So, a seal on some of our truckloads is very important that I know this is only my product in the truck and we sealed it, and here's the proof of that seal. Because sometimes it arrives at the place without that seal, right? And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
um, was there other loads? Did it get stopped or unloaded and loaded back in?
Correct.
So those were some of the other concerns and big problems that we had before load proof.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And what is how was after load proof like?
Oh, yeah, this is the world that I live in, and I've lived in for a couple of years now.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Our material handlers, in the process of the loading, take pictures of each and every pallet.
Yeah.
They do it on the scanner that they already have.
Yeah.
So the transactions that they're doing, the picking transactions and shipping transactions that they're doing for my inventory,
Yep.
they can then quickly switch and take a picture and load proof for that load.
Yep.
So we have pictures of every pallet, of every shipment,
Yep.
full truckloads and LTL truckloads,
Yeah.
as well as we take pictures of the documentation.
Yep.
So if there's, sometimes we put a packing slip that's on the pallet.
Yep.
There's also a picture of that that's done, as well as a picture of the BOL and the seal.
Yep.
And all that information it's so easy to find. So if I get a claim from a carrier or they say, hey, this product arrived like this,
Yep.
I type in that BOL number and I have a picture of every pallet and the documentation
Yeah.
and the seal,
Yeah.
and I know what it looked like before it left this place.
Great. Who do you guys ship to?
We ship to everybody.
Okay.
We're a lot. We do a lot of business with Walmart, and
Yeah.
we use a third-party consolidator there.
Okay.
About 15 to 20 truckloads a week.
Okay.
And Costco is another big one.
Yeah.
Where we do a lot of business with Costco. We talked about that in the beginning a little bit.
Yep.
But we ship all over the country, to just about every grocery store that's in your area. Kroger or Stater Brothers, kind of whatever your local store is, we probably have some type of presence there.
Got it. Got it.
And so stuff is going out all over the place every day.
All over the place, all over the
Yeah,
US. Yeah.
about 20 to 30 orders a day that we're taking pictures of.
Yeah. 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 And what are some of the key benefits if you could list them? Hey, obviously, right? It's a nice system. You can retrieve the photos faster, and how is that saving you? Are you guys able to push back on the retailer chargebacks, or is it like damage claims? Outside of the retailer chargebacks, how is that? What is the majority
Yeah,
of the?
so for
Yeah.
sure, the number one is damage claims.
Okay.
So if product arrives, pallets that are tipped over or shifted or even broken and damaged product that's
Mm-hmm.
open, that's our biggest pushback, and that's also the biggest cost savings.
Okay.
So if it's multiple pallets, thousands or even $10,000s on some of our claims that we struggled with getting that back before,
Yeah.
but having all those pictures now, and uh, it, the benefit for me is also that it's so easy, right?
Correct.
Like we get the claim
Yep.
and it takes 5 minutes to pull it up and attach all those pictures. You could download them, you
Yep.
could save them.
Yep.
Um, so the ease of it, that it doesn't take a lot of time, and then it's a big cost savings on getting claims that potentially I might not without that proof.
Correct. So how much time you guys spend, right? One of the initial conversation is that we have to spend time capturing photos for every single shipment, right? That they look at it as, oh my God, that is a lot of time. But and then later, how much time you guys spend, and then how does that obviously, right? I mean, how did that how were you able to work through that thought as to it's worth spending that time upfront?
Oh yeah, so there is definitely an amount of time spent on the level of the order picker, right, and the person loading. To me, it's super easy to justify because if it's a full truckload, right,
Yeah.
where he's going to take 30 pictures, or 32 or 33 when you include all the documentation, that's still just 5 minutes. One thing I talked about earlier was the ease for the actual material handler, right?
Yep.
He can do it on our scanners that he's already doing the other work,
Yep.
right? Like he doesn't have to carry another device or something.
Yep.
So 5 minutes for an order that potentially gets me back a $20,000 claim
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
super easy to justify the $40 that I spent for that material handler, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Great. So how was the rollout experience itself, right? I mean, there are two types, two components to it, right? The first one is the technical rollout, and then the people adapting to it, right? I mean, I think you probably cannot talk about the technical rollout or whatever you can share, because I'm sure you're onboarding a new person. You got to educate that person. You got to show them, right? Still,
I could
yeah.
share a little bit there, right?
Okay.
So it was already in implementation when I
Correct.
took over.
Correct.
But the training process, it's in our SOPs now. We've written it into our SOPs. So in the training of somebody, it's this is what you do, right? This is how you pick the order.
Yep.
Then when you're scanning it onto the truckload,
Yep.
you scan it onto the truckload and then you take the picture, and
Yep.
it's just part of it's built into the process. So the training is super easy. Um, we also did a little bit of implementation in my production facility.
Okay.
We ship not a lot, but 3 to 5 truckloads a week
Okay.
from there. So
Okay.
it's not a lot, but we did have to. We weren't doing that when I started, and then we added that
Yep.
because 3 to 5 truckloads, it does add up to a lot over the year,
Yep.
and especially if there's a claim against one of those.
Yep.
So, but it was super easy because the process was already in place,
Yep.
and training, and then having the value. There specifically, we struggled with the documentation portion,
Yep.
where we often got claims of this pack slip was missing, or the BOL or the seal information wasn't correct.
Yep.
And so having all that information was really critical. Super easy to implement.
Yeah.
It really was, right?
Yeah. Great. Great. Would you recommend LoadProof to someone else that is, in your role or in a similar role?
Oh, definitely. I don't know how somebody in the logistics world doesn't have something like that, right? Um, there, with all the shipping, there's a multitude of carriers, and then there's more than that of brokers, and sometimes your load is double or triple broked, or
Yeah.
it stopped somewhere or picked up by somebody else,
Yeah.
and so uh, you just have to have something, right? That this is how it left, and I know it was safe and secure,
Yeah.
because you don't know what's going to happen, right? Some go to a terminal and then it's loaded onto another truck.
Yep.
Some stuff is delivered directly to your carrier or directly to the customer from your facility.
Yep.
Whatever the range is that's happening, you need to know.
Okay.
So I don't know how anybody
Would do
functions
it
without
without.
that product. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
anybody who
Yeah.
doesn't have it, I
Yeah.
would say, dude,
Yeah.
you need this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. So, is there anything else that we can do for you in LoadProof that'll make your life even better? Anything else that would be helpful? Any enhancement that would, make your life easier or anything like that?
Um, I don't know. Not that I could think of. There's everything in the tool that I know that we need, right?
Okay.
The access and the ease of finding all of those orders is super simple.
Yeah.
And then the process of the implementation, right? While they're putting all that information in,
Yep.
it's super simple.
Yep.
And those are the things. Those are the two things I care about. I want the job to be easy for my material handlers that are doing it every day,
Yep.
and
Oh,
my
something
light
happened.
went
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
uh, and then if I do need that information, I need to be able to access it quickly and easily, right?
Correct. Correct.
So I have everything that I need. And LoadProof answers both of those questions very, very great.
Great. And we also have we are giving that for free now. There is an app called LoadProof Viewer, so you can look at the photos from your mobile device now.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
great. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So you don't have to go to the browser all the time. Suppose if you're in a meeting and you want to look at the photos, you can just pull that from your mobile device. What smartphone do you have? Do you have an Android or iPhone?
I have both,
Okay.
and we have Android devices for all of our people on the floor. Yeah.
Great. So if you want to download, right, you can download it, and I can set you up as well. I mean, not right now. I can connect you with my technical support
Yeah.
people. We'll be happy to set you up so you can access photos from your mobile device.
Yeah. Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
No problem. Yeah, that's all I have. I mean, thank you for taking the time, Andrew. Anything else that you would like to add? Anything else that that you want to add?
Oh, nothing. I mean, I love the product. I was sold immediately.
Okay.
It was in place when I started.
Okay.
And I don't know how people function without something like this. So,
Okay.
it's been great and easy, and it's helped us on a number of occasions get back some even pretty large claims. So,
Great. Great. Great.
it's
Awesome.
more than paid for itself 20 times over. Yeah.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Thank you very much for the time. That's all I have for today. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Have a great rest of the week. I'm
Uh-huh.
out the rest of the week, so I'm gonna enjoy some days off, and
Yeah, nice, nice.
I
Thank
hope
you,
you have a
nice.
great week. Thank you.
Nice talking to you. Yeah, bye.
Okay, bye.